how you want to do it. For my schedule this semester, I do 4 hours on Tuesdays and then 2 hours on Fridays. So I open up the desk, and what you can do is, like, if other people, like, let's say if you want to switch out desk shifts, you can kind of do that. You just have to cover up another desk shift for the week. And usually I'm on duties on Wednesdays, so I cannot leave the building from 6 a.m. to 6 p.m. So it's kind of my duty to, like, yeah, that's the only thing. It's
that's crazy.
Yeah, that's the crazy thing. So from 6 p.m. to 6 a.m. we have to stay inside the building, and it just really to kind of facilitate to other residents in case someone gets locked out, if there's like noise complaints or any issues occurring within the hall. So that's what we're here for, and everybody has to do that shift within a week.
Wow. So have y'all had any issues in this hall? Do you have any stories like
I don't have nothing too crazy. The only thing that's really been an issue is, like, with our trash. For some reason, like beginning of the semester, we had to take out the trash because a lot of, like, we would come in the kitchen and, like, the trash would be overflown, and like sometimes they'll, like, put it on top of the water fountains and stuff. Just kind of ridiculous stuff. It hasn't been, like, nothing too crazy. Like, no one's, like, done anything where it's just like, wow, like, you know, kind of life inflicting. But yeah, that's probably, like, the minor things we have. We try and make sure everything's kind of in order here.
So do you think, like, if a CA, I know you're incurring this is like a community style, do you think like a CA who isn't in a community style type of facility is kind of different?
I think I want to say it is, because I would kind of say, like, with being a CA, let's say in like Village or Lodge, it's like more free there. And so I like, a reason why I like when I'm in Kerr, or like being a CA in Kerr, is because I feel like I'm more close with my residents. Like, you know, we all have this one hall, so it's like you kind of see each other every day, and you kind of get to know them more on a personal level, compared to, like, maybe if you were in other, like, buildings. Not saying that they may not have that close relationship, but it makes it easier when you're, like, more close in range with some of these residents.
Okay, so how does a person become a CA?
Okay, so you have to live on campus for about 2 semesters, and your GPA has to be above a 2.3 or 2.5. And once you met at least those 2 requirements, you can apply to be a CA. And once you apply to be a CA, you'll pretty much set up, like, your interview days, etc., etc. I know when I set up mine, my interview consisted of me, like, showing up to landing, dressing up, of course, and we had to create our door decks and what we would do, like, if we were actual CA. So they kind of give you, like, a feel of what it is before you go into it.
So what exactly does the university pay for when you become a CA?
Okay, so when you become a CA, the dorms, Stephen F. Austin pays for your housing, and it pays for your meal plan as well. So that knocks off about a good $3,000 or so off of your account, which is pretty good, because I know that's, like, probably a big amount that can help a lot of people out. So they pay for that as well. Those are the 2 things that they pay for when you become a CA.
Okay, so that doesn't affect financial aid or anything like that?
No, and really, like, that actually helps, because let's say if your financial aid hasn't came in yet, that amount that's taken off of your account for being a community assistant, it really helps out, because I know there were times well, just with last semester and this semester, my financial aid hadn't hit yet, but because I had a payment for being a CA on my e-bill, then it really helped with, you know, payments.
That's what's up.
Yeah.
Okay, so do you recommend to other students on becoming a CA?
Yes, I definitely do. I always recommend to, like, all of my residents, like, hey, it's like, if you're trying to be a CA, just talk to me. And I actually had, like, a couple residents come up to me recently and ask me about, like, what to do, how to go about being a CA. And I really just tell them, get involved, like, within the actual resident hall first. It's always nice too, because you want to, first of all, make a good impression on your residents, and you want to make sure you're very familiar with the hall director as well. And I tell them to, like, go attend hall council meetings, and if then you can go to, like, the residence hall meetings that they have for all the other CAs to come to. And I really just suggest those things too, because you want to make yourself familiar to the environment, and that way you can kind of show what you're going to do when you get here. So
okay. And lastly, I should have asked this question earlier, but what type of programs do y'all have? Like, do y'all put together, like, is it like one person in between, like, how many programs do you have to put together?
Okay, so within the semester, you're doing to at least 3 to 4 programs, and you're doing them with other people. You can either do one by yourself, or you can do one with, 2 or more other CAs who work in the building with you. We don't really have our themes are based on what the topics were given on our program sheet. So when we're filling out like for our programs, we get like this it's not an evaluation form, but you kind of get like bulletins that's just like, what are the targets that you're trying to hit? Are you trying to hit culturally diverse? Are you trying to promote sex education, or just a whole bunch of things that you feel like maybe they don't really all get inside a classroom setting, they can get here. So but they're not really like all just like educational. Some of them are just for fun. If you feel like this is something they will all like to collaborate with and do, or just just enjoy themselves, get themselves out their room to have a break, then we have those programs. So yeah.
Okay, so what happens if a CA does not do what he or she is supposed to do?
You get written up. Off the bat, you get written up. And it really just depends on the relationship between you and hall director too. They could probably be lenient, maybe have you do something else in in replacement of that. But if you don't meet like a lot of duties that are required from you as a CA, then you can get written up, and that would just kind of be your warning too. And this kind of helps promote you into like stepping up as far as your position is given, because I know there are just little things like making sure that certain flyers that were up for an event that probably happened weeks ago, if that's not down, that's not a good look, because it makes it look like you're not really keeping in check with what's going on in your hall. And just checking like your mailbox every day of the week or so, just to make sure that you're being well informed of things that are